Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on the Way of Wade All City 11. So first of all, this shoe looks freaking amazing. Look at how awesome it looks. I don't know what it is about the design, but it looks amazing to me. This shoe retails for 150 bucks. So if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones, and in this color we have a combination of like a semi-translucent pink rubber, and then of course in the pod, like kind of in the middle of the outsole, we have like a solid black rubber outsole, right? And it's pretty much a herringbone traction pattern throughout the entire outsole. And the traction feels freaking amazing, guys. I don't know what it is with Chinese companies or just Way of Wade in general, but like if you feel the actual rubber, it's sticky. It feels sticky, like there's glue or something on it. It just has an amazing bite right out the box, and the performance of traction on like all of their shoes has been really good. So yeah, just trying it on my wood floors, it has a nice loud high-pitched squeak, which of course has nothing to do with performance, but I absolutely love that. I just like to have a really loud squeak, right? The bite seems really good. I'm super happy about that right now. And also it seems to be picking up a little bit of dust, but biting very well, right? So I have two dogs and they shed a lot. So there's a lot of dust and fur on the ground. And I always try to clean it up with a broom, but it's always there, right? And you know, there's a little bit of fur right here. And then obviously I can see there's dust on here. And then it was still sticking. So yeah, I feel like the traction on the AC11 is gonna be really good. I'm very excited about that. So that it's just first impressions, the traction seems really good. And also another really good thing about it is that it seems very good for outdoor use. The rubber is super hard, the grooves are deep and very thick. And also there's a lot of surface area of rubber. And also they're saying it's tough rubber, so it's made for outdoor use as well. So yeah, I mean the outsole is looking really good. And also another added bonus is the outsole curvature. Look at how much the outsole, I mean it's not as crazy as like, you know, the Kyrie 2 and Kyrie 3 and Kyrie 4, but it's pretty similar to like the Kyrie 7. You know, there's a little bit of curve right here, which of course puts you on like the medial side of your foot when you're doing these types of movements. It feels amazing. And also we have extra rubber coming up here on the medial side, so you have better grip when you're also doing these types of movements. So that's also a very nice added bonus. So yeah, the outsole's looking real good. And also in the middle of the outsole we have Pro Bar Lock, and Pro Bar Lock is just pretty much a midfoot shin plate, but it's double layered. So we have one midfoot shin plate here on the bottom, like obviously exposed through the outsole, and also we have one kind of like on top of the foam, right? So right underneath your foot. So that'll be good for torsional support, of course. And now moving on to the heel to toe transition. Overall, it feels very smooth, right? So here in the heel, we have a nice rounded shape, and look at all this cage, right? And usually I don't like caging, but it's actually a very soft cage, very similar to the Wild 10, right? And also this kind of like plastic thing reminds me a little bit of the Jordan 36. You guys remember that? But this plastic is actually like not super hard. I mean, I feel like it cages the cushion a little bit, so that kind of sucks, but it definitely doesn't feel clunky at all here in the heel. And then in the forefoot, we have a nice rounded shape. Look at that, super rounded shape, and a good amount of forefoot flex, like a good amount of forefoot flex, but midfoot, there's no flex at all. And so yeah, heel to toe transition overall feels really good. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. The cushioning setup also feels really good, right? So it's just like, it checks off everything that I want in a cushioning setup so far, right? So what I want in the cushioning setup right now, and like what I prefer as of right now, because I feel like it changes over time sometimes, is something that has good court feel, right? And also has very good underfoot cushioning or stepping comfort, which this shoe has, and a little bit of bounce. And that's pretty much it. And that's what this shoe has. So we have full length boom, right? It's full length boom, and boom is very very It's basically, it looks like Boost, but it's better. You know, it's lighter weight and it's just as soft, but also has more bounce than Boost. So yeah, court feel seems pretty good so far. The offset seems a little bit more on the flatter side of things, but you know, that's not a huge deal. And like I said, the cage is actually quite soft. So if you feel like right here, like where the plastic cage is, there actually is a little bit of give to this plastic. So it's not like a crazy hard cage or anything like that. And I definitely feel like this cage is necessary because boom is super soft, right? So I feel like it's a great compromise between like a very hard plastic or cage, you know, because that would make it super stiff, and also like just not having a cage, because that would be a little unstable, because like I said, boom is soft. So I feel like they did a great job with this in my personal opinion. And then as far as the insole goes, the insole is just like a regular type of insole. It's nothing crazy. It doesn't really look like ortholite, and it's not super foamy, but there's a little bit of thickness to it. It's just there. It's nothing crazy, but of course underneath that we can see the soft mesh strobo board, which is absolutely amazing. So here in the heel we have nice compression. Also in the forefoot, if you look at the midfoot, however, it's like black, right? And that's where the Pro Bar lock is as well. So we have one, like I said, on the bottom and also one on top. It's double layered, so that's of course nice for torsion support. But underfoot cushioning in the forefoot and in the heel is super nice. So the cushioning setup overall feels great, and it feels pretty similar to the All City 10. The All City 10, or actually more similar to the All City 10 V2, because the V2 had the like mesh strobo board, right? So it feels really good, and I really like the cushioning setup. And now moving on to the materials. So we got like a nice little textile material going on, and it's actually really thin, super duper thin. It conforms to your foot very well, it feels like. And there's a little bit of stretch to it, but nothing too terrible. It doesn't feel like unsupportive right now, and also it's kind of like more in the middle of the forefoot, right? If you look around it, there, like underneath that, there is an underlaying material that does stiffen up this textile material for better support. So yeah, the forefoot feels great. And then here in the midfoot, coming into the midfoot, it stays thin but also super supportive. There's no stretch to this material at all. And also the laces look pretty cool. Right, it has like this really cool little pattern going on. And also here in the forefoot, on the first eyelet, we have like a flywire cable. Of course, flywire is trademarked by Nike, but I mean, I feel like everyone just calls it flywire, right? And then coming here into the tongue, we have like an average amount of padding. It's nothing too crazy. It's not super comfortable or cozy, but it's just there. And it's also half booty construction tongue. And on the bottom of the tongue as well, we have like an open mesh construction. And then here in the ankle area, we also have like pretty minimal padding. Maybe a little bit less than average, I would say. Nothing too crazy. It's not super cozy. I would just say it's more of a minimal feel as far as the overall upper goes. And also, I really like this back part, right? Whatever this is, I mean, it doesn't really do anything. You know, this also does not do anything. It doesn't really help you put on the shoe. But the design is really cool. It kind of reminds me of like a dragon skin or dragon scale or something like that. It looks awesome, right? And also the overall quality of the upper is great. You know, it doesn't feel cheap or anything. I guess besides the tongue, whatever material they have here on the tongue, also in the ankle area, is definitely like a synthetic and feels cheap. But this overall like textile material feels great, and also it feels nice on foot. So I do like the material overall. And now moving on to the fit, I went true to size and it fits me very well, right? So my toes go pretty damn close to the edge, so that feels great for me going true to size. And also width-wise, I would say it's slightly narrow. And here in the toe box, it's not like super snug. I can close my toes up a little bit, so I would just say it's kind of like a normal size toe box. Not super snug, not super roomy or anything like that. So I'm okay with it. If you want like a roomier fit or you have a wide foot, probably go up half a size. Also, as far as the support and lockdown goes, it also feels like it's going to be very good, right? So as you guys can see, for the lateral counters, we have the cage coming up acting as a sidewall here in the forefoot. And also we have flywire cables, and like I said, we have like an underlaying material right here for the textile upper here in the forefoot for better support. So it feels good here in the forefoot, and then here in the heel, there's an internal TPU heel counter. So lateral containment feels like it's gonna be good. And also look at how wide this shoe is. So lateral stability, look at that. Look at how much this shoe protrudes out here in the forefoot on the lateral side. So that's definitely giving you a very wide base, and also you're low to the ground because the cushioning setup is low to the ground. So it feels like it's going to be very laterally stable. So overall support and lockdown feels like it's going to be good. And now moving on to the aesthetics. I love it. I love this. This is the sunrise colorway, and this gradient on the cage looks absolutely amazing. And the black upper with like this, is this like, yeah, it has a little bit of an iridescent glow to it. It's kind of purple as well if you shine it in different angles and light. So this back part looks great as well. I definitely feel like it looks a lot better than the AC10 V2. And also I feel like it looks better than the AC10, right? So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the weight. This shoe feels pretty light. So I'm guessing like 11, 12 ounces. 12.73 ounces. Oh, that's a little bit heavier than average. Let's check the other shoe. 12.84 ounces, right? Let's check the AC10 V2. 12.63 ounces. And then let's check the regular AC10. 12.24 ounces. So they're all around average weight. So yeah, I mean, it feels very minimal as far as the upper goes. I'm sure like all of the weight is coming from like the caging and like the rubber outsole. But yeah, the AC11 feels like it's going to be very responsive though. So wrapping things up, as far as my first impressions go, it's feeling like a top tier performer. And my biggest gripe with the AC10 was the traction, right? So the traction was really good, but if too much dust built up on it, and I didn't have time to wipe, it would be a pretty dangerous kind of like slide. Oh, not super dangerous, but like it would slide out a good amount. You know what I mean? So that definitely was an issue, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be an issue here in the AC11. Cushion feels just as good. Materials feel just as good. Honestly, I feel like, you know, this textile material feels a little bit more supportive, but it's a little bit more stretchy here in the AC11, which feels like pretty nice if you like that stretchy type of material on top of your foot. So it's a very similar feeling shoe to the AC10, but the traction's feeling a little bit better, which of course is a great thing, and also the added bonus of the outsole curvature. So yeah, I'm really excited to put these to the test and also play in them. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.